my channel. I do hope you're doing well. We are barefaced again and looking a little bit flush, I'm not gonna lie. It is quite hot, which is kind of fitting because it's another installment of the travel diaries. And I just hit my elbow and that hurt. Bit of a delayed reaction there. So my lovelies, this episode is my first travels without the parentals, okay? And thank goodness for the times of social media, because I actually have the dates that I went away, so I will know exactly how old I was. I had a rough feeling, but I was actually a year older than what I thought I was. So there's going to be no photos from the memory box, let's just say, because this is now of the era where everything was taken on phones and cameras and then they just went onto the laptop. However, when me and mum start the scrapbook, I know I've been saying this for the past 2 years. When we was in lockdown, I bought the scrapbook and it's still sitting there. We are going to make it our mission that sometime this year we will start on it and do a page a day, or just try and, because we all know how OCD I am, I want the scrapbook to be just perfect, you know. So for now, we're going to have the good old photographs from good old Facebook. Not that I really use Facebook nowadays, but it's kind of there for memories, eh? So I've got a can of vanilla Coke, which I've been treating myself to a little bit lately. Water's a bit meh, and I've been fancying a nice, cool, refreshing drink. So Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Vanilla flavour. Shan, let's just get in with it and stop rabbiting, eh? So, my lovelies, the first time abroad without the parental. So, as you all know from the previous episodes, I went abroad from 4 to 13. That was like my childhood travels. And then I didn't go from 13 through to 19. My first holiday on my own without my parents was when I was 19 years old, in the ripe older year of 2014, which, my lord, seems like a million years ago. How time goes so fast, it's very blooming scary. So yes, the reason for this holiday actually was my uncle was getting married in Crete. So as you know, we done quite a few of the Greek islands when I was a child, but we never done Crete, so that was great. And I went out there. Oh, I thought I heard my ice cream man. Look at that, I'm getting distracted already. I went out there at the time with my then boyfriend, and I met my uncle and his wife to be out there. We went out for 2 weeks. They had to be out there for 3 weeks. And then the rest of my family come a week after. So we kind of had like a nice bit of chill time. And then it was like full bang wedding mode. So yes, what I can remember from the first airport experience, it was very stressful, okay? Extremely stressful. I think it was predominantly because I took on the role of mum. And I don't know if anyone else's partners are like this, but I haven't been able to find someone who can take the stress of travel away from me yet. It is very much I am the mum and I deal with the passports, the checking in, the boarding tickets, the currency, the everything. So it's very stressful. Like I always say, my holiday doesn't start until I put everything in the safe when we get to the hotel, and then I'm done. So yeah, it was quite stressful. It wasn't as unnerving as I would say it was when I went to Mexico, because that was a long haul flight. This was a flight to Crete, which was about 3-4 hours max, I think. So it wasn't too bad. And knowing that we had the transfers, and then when we got to the hotel, my uncle and his wife to be would be there, was kind of like a bit more reassuring. So yes, I was 19 years old. I was blonde. And I've actually just had to look through the photos, because I'm going to try and show you photos that don't show my ex, my family, everything like that. So you're just going to see me and scenery, okay? But we stayed at a little hotel in Crete called Anastasia, or Hotel Anastasia, which, if you know me, Beauty and the Beast is my #1 top Disney film, okay? But Anastasia, or Anastasia as I call it, is the DreamWorks Pixar film, and that is my #1, about Anastasia Romanov, the Tsar, the Russian family. If you know all of that, you know I absolutely love that. So I actually really like the name. And looking through, because this album is actually privated now on my Facebook, so only I have access to it. And looking at them, it was, I don't even know if they still do these now. You know where you would go and you'd have the hotel photographer and they'd be like, come stand here and look into each other's eyes, and oh, if you can look away. I am a sucker for that though, I cannot lie. Every year I've been away, I have to get some professional pictures. People probably think what a waste of money, which they probably are, but it's just memories in it. And I look at them and I think, oh Lord, Shannon Lee, look at you. But makes for great reasons, and I can show you here. So this is the typical, oh god, we stayed in the area Stalis, which was about 30 to 40 minute walk from Malia. We shall get into that very soon. So this is the typical look over your shoulder, the pool photos. Canon, there we go. But look at how young I look, my lovelies. I've got full blonde hair and I was sunburned. Okay, I think it was the holiday. No, it was this holiday. I don't know what happened, but I must have burnt my face terribly, because in between my nose, this all like swelled and it like pushed my eyes out, and oh, I looked like one of those, like, I don't know what it is, a hammerhead shark. You know, like the shark or the whale that's just got like a really long, I think it's on Nemo. I look like one of them. I think I've got a picture of it in here somewhere. And yeah, I don't know what happened. So now my main thing is I have to protect my face, and I will buy like sensitive face cream. I think what they thought it was the body cream that I put on my face. They think I was maybe allergic to it, or it was too strong, because it just swelled my face. And also, I think it was this holiday, I burnt my shoulders so terribly bad that I had to go to the local pharmacy and get like this thick gel ointment to put over my shoulders, because I'd burnt it to the point where I had all like water blisters and that on it, which is not uncommon because Dada had that when he went to South Africa. So kind of just like prone, I think, to get those within the family. So yeah, I have to be very careful on holiday with my shoulders. I don't really have much scarring. It actually faded. I did have for a few years, you know, like just loads of little white dots. Like they would never tan. They would absolutely never tan. I could sit out there and no. But now I do try and make sure my shoulders are nicely and creamed up, and my face, I have proper face cream for SPF, all right? Now I like this one. I do like this one. I just look so young. I think I've still got the same cheesy grin, a lot of eyeliner back in the day, and I've got no lips. That was before my filler. But saying that, I've not really got no lips now, have I? All my fillers dissolved, which I want to get topped up before this year's holiday. So this is Canon. There we go. Look! Oh, my lovelies, I can't take myself seriously. And I think I've actually still got the proper printed out ones of these somewhere. So yeah, this hotel was absolutely lovely. I say we got there quite late one night. I think we had an evening flight, which I don't normally like. I like to have morning flights or afternoon flights. I don't like flying through the dark. I don't know what it is. I think it's because we had a night flight. I think it was to Cyprus when I was younger, and we had turbulence in the night, and that's just kind of, I'm all right with flying, but I think that spooked me a little bit. And then, would you believe, right, so these shorts in this picture, I only just got rid of last year. I couldn't have fit in them for a million years, but it was just like pure memories. And then they do the typical Canon black and white. Oh, look at my hair. Oh, bless her. I was young once. I can't believe I was 19 looking at that. I was so diddy. So diddy. Oh. And I, even back then, would take a photo of everything, okay? So, here we have... Now, this is what I don't like, and I'm hoping it's not going to be like this when I go away. It wasn't like it in Mexico or Cuba, because I think there was, like, a wider surface. But all I remember from travelling in Europe was you had to be up early with your towel on that seatbed to secure it. Seatbed, sunbed to secure it, because if not, you weren't getting a seat. And this was a view, I think, from the restaurant that overlooked the pool. And this was probably something maybe like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, because we'd be up really early. Look, all them sunbeds already on there, my lovelies. All the towels, securing them, securing their dibs. And then, oh, it's just questionable, okay, my lovelies? It's absolutely questionable. My outfits. Now, back in the day, I still loved my big bags. I loved my bun donuts, which I need to get my donut soon. You will see that I have a donut in these pictures because it's just huge, okay? It's just huge. I loved a big statement necklace as well, which I've kind of regressed from a bit, I would say. I'm a little bit more dainty, but yeah, I loved a good statement necklace. This was probably, I would say, after a couple of days. And I think I've even still got them trousers somewhere. Not that I'm a hoarder or anything. I've definitely still got the the white throwover. That's the one that I wear now. Oh Lord. So aka this was Shannon ready to hit the tan the first night. So as you can tell, I just burn my nose and my forehead and I never tan my face. Never tan my face. And that was actually just before the swelling occurred. I didn't look like Quasimodo there, let's just say that. God, I was so skinny back then. Look, I'm trying to... Because this was like a family holiday, there is people in all of these pictures and I'm like, I need to somehow crop you out, okay? Alright, so this just shows my leg. This was, what have I captioned this? 2 days in. My leg, for some reason, I put sun cream on, it just burnt. And it burnt in such odd places. Like, I just had patches. Let me know if this has happened to anyone else before, but can you see that? It was just patches. How? If the leg is going to burn, let it just burn altogether. But it didn't. It went absolutely patchy for life. And oh my God, is anyone like me? But when you go abroad and you see your car abroad, you're like, that's my car. That's my car. All of the hire cars in Crete were Fiats. Look, a little bug there. And yes, I have to take a photo of it because I have to take a photo of everything. Sorry, because I'm showing you on a screen, the light keeps dimming. There's not much I can do, I'm afraid, my lovelies. And then I had my first fish pedicure. Is it not pedicure? You know where you used to put your feet in and the fish would nibble at it? Who remembers that era? And then didn't it get shut down because they said it wasn't safe or sanitary? Whoopsie. I quite enjoyed that, to say the least. There is little old Shannon. What glasses have I got on my head? They look like my Vivienne Westwood glasses that I very rarely wear because I'm blind as a bat without my glasses. I tried to take them somewhere and have prescription lens put in them, but they couldn't do it. So I'm afraid that was a no-go. But yeah, look at me having my little fish pedicure. And you know what I noticed? Look at how thin my legs were. Look at how thin those legs were. As I'm looking down at absolute thunder thighs. And I'm just, oh. I literally took a photo of everything. Like, there's a bar here called the Rover's Return. So, like, very English pub-fied. I'm just... Oh, this is when I'm at my happiest, okay? It's a little bit blurry, but... if you do not go on holiday, right? Canon, don't focus on me. Focus on Ocean. There she is. Snooker. You've always got to have a few games of snooker and have like a little tally going when you're abroad. How am I going to play snooker or pool this year? How am I going to play tennis this year? I'm not going to be able to do much of my stuff on my own. I mean, I might be able to play basketball on my own. I'll just run up and down the court. Can't exactly play tennis on my own. I think I'd get a bit knackered trying to run around the court. I mean, if there was a wall there, I suppose I could just hit it against the wall. But yeah... I do love playing snooker and pool and darts. Oh my God. So I'm going to have to try and adapt and try and figure out how to do it on my own this year, right? We shall see. Let's have a look. I was so skinny, right? But I look at it and I'm like, Shan, you've got no bum. What's happened to you, girl? And oh my God, you can see in this picture, right? So another thing, like my first holiday abroad without the parents... and my leg burnt in weird patches. My eyes started to make me look like a hammerhead shark. And my hands burnt like none other. My hands always, I have to be careful with because I don't have much skin. You see this? Like, there's not a lot. So, if I get burnt, it's really sore because there's not like a thick layer like you can see. Especially now, because I lift weights. Like, who is she? But you can see all my veins through it. And my hands burn, but not my fingers. And you can see it in this picture. So if you look closely, Canon, there we go. Can you see my hand there, my lovelies? You see just that line? So my whole arm and hand is burnt, yet not my fingers. Don't ask me how or why. Canon, come back to me. Thank you. Don't ask me how that worked. I don't know. I absolutely didn't know. And then my chest, I pretty much burnt, right, like an absolute patchy lobster on my first holiday abroad. How am I going to do this year? I was saying to Mum the other day, I said, I need to get an applicator or something to cream my back. And I loved it because one of you lovelies said, get a man to do it or like get a hug to do it. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I couldn't go up to someone and be like, excuse me, could you just sun cream my back? Like, I'm hoping I might have friendly neighbours. And if they're, say, Mama's age or Dada's age, I might be like, excuse me, I'm on my own. Would you mind, like, if not just like randomly knock their door and be like, hi, can you cream my back, please? But if, say, they're out on their balcony or like by the pool, and I'll just be like, oh, excuse me, you couldn't do me a quick favour, could you? Thank you very much. Much obliged. Because, yeah, otherwise I said I might have to get one of them. You know what people put fake tan on with? Like a big loofah. I might have to try something like that. Now, I don't know about you, my lovelies, but I think all the rave back in like 2014 era, it was the bandeau, like just dresses or play suits from Primark, which I still have a few. I emptied my case out the other day because I said to Mum, I thought I only had 2-wheeled cases. And actually one of them is a 4-wheeled, because I said if I have a 2-wheeled cabin and a 2-wheeled big one, it's going to be really hard for me to pull both. So I said if I can get a 4-wheeled big one, then I can just push that and then I can pull my little one. That's not a problem. But I think I might, now I have found that I've got one that is 4-wheeled, I might still treat myself to a new little cabin case. Only if I can find it reasonable, because some of the prices I've seen for a cabin case, like 80 quid, absolutely not. But we emptied them all out and Mum weighed them and everything like that. Because I did see a case in Primark. It was a black lightweight one, 3 kilos, 50 quid. I just get really worried with those light ones if they're not robust. Like, are they going to rip if they're battered around? Is a wheel going to fall off? Like, if you've got an It, I think they're called It luggage, which is what my 2-wheeled one is. And that one, the wheel was almost falling off. But I think that's because it's like been angled because it's only 2-wheeled. If you do have any of the cases from Primark, please let me know how the durability of it is, because I know the way that cases get chucked around and I just get very, very paranoid, because the 4-wheeled hard shell one is like 4.7 kilos, which is a lot. Like, compared to the soft one that's 3, it's almost 2 kilos more. That's like 2 kilos of clothes that I cannot take. So yeah, I'm still not eyeing it up yet, or weighing out my options, I should say. But yeah, when I opened it, oh my god, I still had this exact little pullover on because it's just comfy and cash. And this is what I would have to do, right? I would have to wear my sunglasses, but then keep my actual glasses tucked in on the bottom. We had mini golf in our area, so Canon, there we go. You see my glasses, and you can see my chest is red raw like my arms. So yeah, I would have my sunglasses on, looking very frazzled. The hair's a little bit wild there. And then, yeah, my back. Oh, there's table tennis there. I tell you what, one thing that I do like, because when I go on holiday, what is your nail colour if you paint your nails? Mine is classic white. Always have a white for holiday. I think it shows up the tan better. It goes with every single outfit. It's just absolutely fantastic. Now, have we got another one to show how burnt I was? Oh yeah, you can see on this one. So this one isn't too bad. Shannon Lee, what are those earrings you're wearing? I've literally got disco balls hanging from my ears. This was just before the eye disaster, okay? You can see that my forehead and nose is extremely burnt. This was a... What was this? Oh, this was at a little local restaurant that had octopus. And yes, I did take a picture of the octopus. So here, as I say, you can see my arms. Canon. Canon. Oh. Oh. There we go. See, my arms are burnt and my forehead and nose is just, yeah. You can tell this isn't going to be a good trip, all right? You just know that something bad is going to happen. And oh, look at the prawns and octopus. You can't go to Greece and not have the prawns and octopus. The octopus, funny story, my ex at the time, he went out to the bathroom and he come in and he was like, you know your octopus? I was like, yeah. He's like, it's hanging on a washing line out the back. I was like, what? He was like, it is hanging on a washing line out the back. So I poodled off to the toilets and they had, I think it's because they was like drying them, they just had all the octopus tentacles on like this line outside the kitchen. Didn't stop me from eating it. It was blooming delicious, let me tell you that. And then, oh, abroad. Isn't it the cutest when you always get the little stray dogs? Now, not going to lie, the only thing in Greece, there is loads of stray cats. Loads. And if you pay them one slightest bit of attention, that's it. They will never, ever leave you alone, let me tell you that. Oh, we've got a bit of swimwear there. What's this? Yeah, you can tell even by this, like, my top was burned. This is the classic swimwear thing. See, I've always kind of had thick thighs. My legs were skinnier there. This is just burnt central. But my arms weren't as chubby there, let's just say. They are, well, they are still quite chubby. I'm trying to tone them. We're slowly getting there. And then, so this must have been about, it must have been a week in. And you just very, very slowly see my face change. I'm trying to get a photo where it did look really bad on one of them. I also went, is it parasailing or paragliding? Where me and my uncle, and then me and his wife-to-be, and then towards the end of the holiday, me, my other uncle and my cousin, you sit down in like the parachute and then it flies up and you just like float along while the boat's underneath. First 2 times I done that, absolutely great. The last time I done it with my uncle and my cousin was the day after Malia, when me and my cousin escaped. I will tell you about that shortly. And I was hungover to the point that I was sick in the air. I really hope no one was down below me in the sea, and I thought I was going to die. Absolutely thought I was going to die. My face, where is one where my face looks bad? Everyone is in a picture with me at this point. Right, this is not good. Oh, actually, you might be able to see it a little bit here. So, again, classic, oh, photo on the thing. But can you see there, my lovelies? You just see it looks a little bit more spaced out. That was the start of an absolute disaster, let me tell you that. And then, of course, the whole reason why we was out there was for the wedding. I had a little dress, which I still have to this day. It is in there because it's a stretchy dress, so it still fits. Still fits me lovely and nice. And, oh, there, that's a photo of me on my own in it. It was like, they didn't really have a colour theme or a dress code, but I got it from New Look, I remember, and I think it was AX Paris, which is still going now. It was about 30 quid, and back then I was like, 30 quid for a dress, but I actually really do like it, and as I say, I've still got it, so can't be too wrong. Classic big Primark clutch, and it was just a strapped, like kind of jewelled bodice, and then it flared out. But this was me, Canon, for my uncle's wedding. Still red raw. Still an absolute mess, let's be perfectly honest. It just kind of went downhill. And that night, so that was me, nice. That was me. I had to read the translation from the Greek priest to everyone in English. So I was on my best behaviour then, all right? Have I got a photo of me in my evening dress? Because, of course, I had to change for an evening dress. I mean, not like I was the bride or anything, but I changed into my disco ball dress, let's just say, that I got from Amy Child's boutique in Brentwood many, many moons ago. Now, I need a photo where I'm not with anyone so that you can see my disco ball dress. Can we do that? So you can't really see much of it, but of what you can see, look, I'm like a little disco ball. I had my Vivienne Westwood clutch, my earrings, still burnt as a frazzle. And that was just where it all went downhill. So my uncle and his wife-to-be was out there. My other uncle come out with his wife and his boy. My nan was out there. And then my other cousin come out with my other auntie, her mum, and her best friend. And then my uncle's wife-to-be, she had her dad and her stepmom and her brother, his wife, and their child. And it all got a little bit downhill. This photo I love. I'll obviously crop my uncle out because I don't want me family on here, but he's just looking at me like disaster. Like, you can tell that she's her dad's daughter. This was probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. My arm is still red raw, and I was on my first Blue Lagoon, okay? First Canon. Oh, Canon, you're not liking this one. Canon, come on. Is it because I'm sparkly like a disco ball? There we go. So my arm again, red raw. I love how my arm is red raw and then my back looks white. And I was just starting my Blue Lagoon. Well, I'm just looking at the pictures. I played snooker in this, intoxicated. I played table tennis in intoxicated. There is, I wish I could show you, right, because there is photos of me and my cousin, and my cousin that went out there, she's the eldest out of all of us, so it was like the eldest girl and the youngest girl. Bearing in mind I was 19 at the time, I think she was probably mid-30s. I think there's like 14 or 16 years between us. And these photos, I mean, oh, I just wish I could show you, but, oh, so many good memories from that night. And like I say to her when I'm up there, I'm like, we need to relive that night. But she's married now. She's like settled. I'm like the wild child of the family still. I spoke to Nan the other day and she was like, Shan. She was like, I think you need to evaluate. I was like, Nan? I'm just evaluating my next travels, darling. So yeah, this was, oh God, no, that's not, can't show that. That's not a good sight. Right, so the story of the escape of the night of the wedding. My ex had gone to bed because he didn't feel well. He went to bed about 9ish. I said to him, don't worry, I won't be long. Won't be long. Famous last words. It got to about 10 o'clock and me and my cousin wanted McDonald's. We just craved McDonald's. We was quite plastered at this rate, to say the least. And we wanted McDonald's. We didn't want anything else. So we took my nan to bed. I remember that. Nan went to bed. And my uncle and my aunt said, we'll order you, I think it was like chicken shop or like pizza. And we was like, no, we want McDonald's. They said the McDonald's in Malia doesn't deliver. So me and my cousin thought, well, we'll go and get it. Bearing in mind we could barely stand. We was very doddery. We'd had quite a few cocktails. We'd been singing karaoke. Good old karaoke, a bit of Queen. I've got the videos, which I do not want to put in. That could be for another video where I relive my most embarrassing moments. But yeah, we ended up, I think we snuck out through a bathroom. And as we run out, there was like a subway in front of our hotel, like a little tunnel. And I remember we was just legging it. And my uncle and aunt was at the other end and they were shouting, come back, we've ordered the food, come back. We was gone, mate. We was like, pew. We was gone. This was probably about 10:30, 11. And we knew roughly where Malia was because we'd had to get a cab earlier in the day and it took you through Malia. So we knew roughly you come out of the subway, turn right, left, I think it was, and then it's literally straight. You go all the way till you hit the strip. We only thought it was like a 20-minute walk, which we then found out the next day because we all went back into Malia as a family. It was about a 40-45 minute walk. So yeah, everything just seems shorter when you're drunk, doesn't it? So we was loving life. We was walking, we was talking, we was laughing, and hallelujah, we saw the Golden Arches. And as you can tell from my very non-sober face, look at this, I was very happy. I had my double cheeseburger, no pickles, large fries that were salty beyond belief. They don't care about salt intake and sodium over there. And a large Coke. Now, it just then went quite downhill. Malia Strip, I'd never ever been clubbing before. And my cousin, not for many years. We went down there and wow. Like, I was 19 and so she was mid-30s. So it was predominantly people my age. Like, boys' holidays, girls' holidays, everything like that. It was heaving, okay? Absolutely heaving. We made it on the strip for probably about 20 minutes and then got split up. We was walking down. I think a club promoter come between us and was like, oh yeah, try this next thing. I turned around and she'd gone. And I'm like, oh my God, where's my cousin? So I was going into all of the bars, trying to find her. I managed to, one of the bars, the bouncer said that he would walk up and down with me and try and find her. And I could not find her for life or money. So because the bouncer was nice, he said, why don't you come into our bar, sit there, see if you see her walk past. I was like, okay then. I always remember out there, I felt so safe to what I would do in my local village going out, especially at that age. I mean, now you would never catch me out in my village. But I was given like a panic button. And they said, if you sit in there and anything happens or someone comes over, like, because it was a very rowdy place, if anyone comes over and they're bothering you or you feel uncomfortable, press it. It will signal to us in, like, they was, because I would say here and the door was over there. It will signal to us and we'll come and, like, help you. I sat there. I kept thinking I saw her. I was, like, getting up. I was shouting her name out. No one was turning around. I was like, dang. And then you do have a few people come up to you. Very intoxicated people, bless them, that was clearly on their first lads holiday, and most of them were harmless. I think I had about 3 or 4 because I was sitting prime in the window looking like a disco ball, all right? So it weren't like I was blending in. Most of them was harmless, but there was one, he came over and I was like, no, I'm just waiting for my cousin, thank you. Then he wanted to try and, like, he was trying to climb under the little, you know, because it's like, kind of like my bed, like, these bits filigree, but it was like in metal, and he was like trying to get through that to get in, and I was like, no thank you. And then he like started to walk around and I was like, oh my God, he's coming in. So I pressed the button and the guy who had been walking up and down with me, he kind of like circled around and he saw the lad coming to walk. He come down, sat down, and I just looked at the bouncer like, help. And he come down, he was like, everything all right here? I was like, not really. So he was like, come on, mate. And I always remember, he was like, I'm not doing nothing. He's like, come on, mate. He was like, she's just waiting for a cousin. He was like, I'm sorry. I was like, that's fine. I felt so safe. And I stayed there probably until about half 2 in the morning. I felt so safe there. I weren't moving and walking up and down that strip. I thought if she comes, because it was kind of like in the middle of the strip, so I thought if she has gone up to either end, she would always come back to the middle like me. So I'm bound to see her. But I didn't. So I enjoyed myself there. Had a few drinks. The shots were 50. Now, is it cents? Euros and cents? It was basically like 50p for a shot. So I may have partaken in a few shots when I was there. I mean, it's rude not to, isn't it? Oopsie. I had a few shots. And then I was like, right, I'm going to call it a day. It was about 2:30. 2:30, I think. Went back to McDonald's. I can see myself clear as day right now. Ordering 20 chicken nuggets and a large fries, right? And if you've been to Greece, you know that Greece don't really have roads and pavements. It's just road. And you walk along the side of it and then you have all the bulrushes and that. I walked back. Which, thinking about it now, would I do that? Absolutely not. But that just shows how times have changed. Like, that was 2014, so that's like 8 years ago. How times have changed so much. I felt so safe. Like, I was walking down. Most of them had lights, but there were a few dodgy turnings on my own. dressed like a disco ball, 2:30 in the morning, eating my fries and my 20 chicken nuggets. Nothing happened. Like, touch wood, my God, I was very, very lucky. Would I do that now? Absolutely not. Looking back, I think, oh my God, you put yourself in such a stupid situation. Like, you should have just got a cab, Shannon, but I didn't. So I'm walking down the side of this. Oh my God, I'm munching away on my chips and I'm talking away to myself and I'm singing. Then I put my thing in my little bag and I put my McDonald's bag under and I'm eating my chicken nuggets as I'm walking along. And yeah, I think I got back to the room, must have been around 3 or just gone in the morning. And our room was right at the back of the hotel, top floor. And those steps are steep, okay? I mean, you can see it in those pictures. Where are we? Where's the stair picture? Greek steps are extremely steep. Like, that's not just a normal up you get and off you go. Like, they are steep steps. And they're like marble. If you fall on one of them, you are smashing a tooth. Let me tell you that. Apparently I made several attempts getting up the stairs, and my ex at the time, he said all he could hear was thump, thump, thump. That was me. I didn't make it. I think I made it up about 3 stairs and then he come out. Bearing in mind, he was ill. He was ill and I'd left him at 9 o'clock the night before saying I won't be long, and here I am gone 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 hours later, out of my nut, not being able to get up the stairs. So he had to help me up the stairs. Oh, I don't think... Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have put that picture online, but there is a photo. And I've obviously crawled into the hotel room and I'm talking away and I'm like... The neighbours must have hated me. And I got up there and I was like, ooh, ah, Merlia, ooh, ah, Merlia. Jumping on the bed 3 o'clock in the morning. And my ex is saying, get down now, the people next door. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Ooh, ah, Merlia, ooh, ah. And then all of a sudden I stopped. And he must have thought, hallelujah. And I was like, I think I'm going to be sick. Get to the bathroom now. I didn't want to be sick because I was in my dress. And this dress had like a hook and eye, as it, he weren't the most, like, he hated dresses. And he was trying to do it and he was like, I will rip this dress in me. I'm like, don't rip my dress. Don't rip my sequin disco ball dress. He managed to get it undone. So there is me, and there is a photo plain as day. I'm wrapped around a toilet seat, all my long blonde hair down. He didn't hold my hair. I did end up being sick in my hair, which was absolutely disgusting. I'm in my bra and knickers, and I'm just like hugging the toilet, throwing up. He also took several videos of me like that to show me in the morning and to show my nan and my uncles. My uncles thought it was funny. My nan thought it was disgusting. Like, when we went down for breakfast the next day, me and my cousin was just like, before we'd even had our catch up of what happened that night, we was like, oh, our nan come over and slapped us both around the back of the head. Yeah, we're good. She ended up, said, well, no, what was it? She left about 1:30 and she said, I got a cab back. She said, I was up and down that strip and I couldn't see you. I was like, what do you mean you couldn't see me? I was in the window like a disco ball. She was probably too intoxicated. But yeah, she took the smart decision. She took the smart decision and got a cab home, of which I didn't. So yeah, once we had a catch up and we said it, we was like, oh my God, what a great night. No one else around us thought it was a great night. Everyone was like absolutely blue murder. And especially for me, because I was the youngest and she was the eldest, they was like, you should have took better care than her. And she's like, what? She's over 18. She's her own person. Everyone was like, you wait till I tell your mum and dad. What was they going to do? And in amongst all of this, Nana G was in hospital when I left, but she actually passed away when I was on this holiday. And I was checking in with mum and dad every day, and I was like, how is she? She's poorly, she's poorly. And I didn't actually find out until the day after I come back that she'd passed about a week into the holiday. And I think I spoke about this briefly before. Like, I stopped speaking to mum and dad for a good few months. Like, it would be like we would just pass each other in the house. I felt so betrayed. Like, I know that my nan wouldn't have wanted me to know. Like, she knew how much I was looking forward to that holiday. She wouldn't have wanted anything to ruin it. But I was so angry. Like, angry beyond belief. And yeah, I didn't speak to mum or dad for a good couple of months after that, and then we had like a talk. And even now, I mean, I shouldn't say it, but even now there is still a little bit of a grudge held, which there shouldn't be, but yeah, it was just one. I didn't feel right that I was out there partying and she'd passed, and like when I'd say how is she, like they was barefaced lying to me. So yeah, I'm not going to put a dampener on this because it was quite a funny story with Malia, weren't it? But yeah, so that was all happening as well in the midst of it all. What happened here? Oh, we went to a shisha bar. Look at Shannon Lee. Who does she think she is, right? I also used to have a guilty obsession with them like headbands. You know, like all the... Look at this, right? This was actually my prom after party dress as well. I'd started to go brown here. I weren't red anymore. But look at my head. Who do I think I am? The Queen of Sheba? Like, honestly, a big statement necklace. I've still got that necklace, actually. That's my skull necklace. Look, see? I'm such a hoarder. And that jacket is the kimono that you see me in pretty much everything on. So, yeah, we went for shisha. And then, oh, it does bring back good family memories. Like, they always said when we was out there as well, we should do this for, like, say, like, my dad's 50th. And, oh, my God, I could never imagine my dad going away with his family as a grown man. I just think that would be a recipe for disaster. I really do. I don't think that would be something that he would personally enjoy, let's just say. And then the phase of the sarongs. I've got so many blooming sarongs in that case. I don't think I'm going to take them with me because I'm probably going to buy a sarong when I go out there. And also t-shirts. Every time I went abroad, I would have a t-shirt made with where it was and the year. So I've got like COS 14, I've got, no, Crete 14, COS 15, I've got Mexico, like I've got a collection, okay? They are purely just memories. But this is all the phase, and let me know if you remember this. I actually still have them 3 skull bracelets as well. So you used to have like the big wrap of material and then just wrap it around, and I thought I was quite good on that one. I normally would just wrap it around my belly and be done with it. But this time I kind of like put it around. I was like a little halter neck looking at this. Because we was going on a boat trip. Oh my God, look. Sorry if you don't like feet, okay? But this is what I mean about how brown my feet go. Look at that. My feet. If my feet are not tanned, I know I'm not tanning. If my feet go like that, it's a good time. I know I'm gonna have a good tanning sesh. We went on boat trips. That we stopped actually on the boat trip, and a few like meters or across, like it was in seeing distance, there was a party boat, and me and my uncles was in the sea, and we was like ooh ooh do 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 ooh ooh. They was like reliving their youth massively, and I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. Another thing I remember with Greece, their figurines was very erotic. Like I'm looking now, everything was about penises. I don't know why, but yeah, it was. And then, oh, I love this, okay? So we went to Malia and went down and saw a few of the shops and that. And I had my hair cornrowed. Only half cornrowed though, I tell ya. Because the pain, oh my God. Is it like half cornrowed, half braided? So it was basically like to here, and then it stopped because you see my big donut. And I also picked up a traditional Greek shirt in essence, and I loved it. And again, I still have that even now. So this I feel is where I really look like I'm in my Greek element. My face, kind of patchy, kind of burnt, and as you can see there, we've got part of the braiding. That was my first time I ever had my hair partially braided, and oh my God, the pain. If you've had it done before, let me know, my lovelies, because the pain, I have fine hair as it is, right? And when you've got someone just yanking on it, just pulling on it, you're like, ow, ow. You can't do anything because you've got to pay her. She started it. She can't just do one and leave it be. She's got to do it all. So, yeah, that was very painful, but very good. Oh, yeah, here's a better picture. See, and I had my big donut. I had my little ring around my donut. All of these are going to come back for this year's holiday. All right, my lovelies? They're all going to come back. Again, a lot more photos of me drinking. Probably not the greatest. And, yeah. Oh, some little underwater ones when we was in the... when we was in the sea. Oh, I like this one. I think this could be... You know when you look at photos and you think it's like Mamma Mia? I think this could be like my Mamma Mia picture when it focuses. That is no filter. That is just how it come out on the camera. A little bit blurry, a little bit of the tone on there. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, it was actually a really good holiday. Like, I would love to do something like that again with my cousin. Like, hands down, that would just be catastrophic and a disaster, let me tell you. Because when my other uncle got married, who is my cousin's dad, we had such fun at that wedding, let me tell you. And the main comment that was made was, we're not going to have a repeat of your uncle's wedding, okay? No drinking. Well, that just fell on deaf ears. But we was kept in rein, let's just say, from both of our parents and grandma as well. Because, yeah, no one wanted a repeat of what happened in Crete. But yet me and my cousin, so we thought it was an absolute blast, so we wanted to relive it, and we technically did, just maybe on a little bit of a muted down scale. And yeah, so my first holiday without the parentals, if I had to sum it up, stressful to say the least at the beginning, and also with like the odd burning and my eye reaction. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. That night in Malia, I will never forget. That is like something that me and my cousin will take to our graves. And yeah, absolutely loved it. And now I've got to stop talking about it. And I've got to wrap up an outro. Boo-hoo, I want to be on a plane again. So, my lovelies, I don't quite know what I'm going to call this episode. Whether it's going to be First Travels Alone, when technically I wasn't alone. My first travels alone will be this year. Excited, nervous, a whole wrap of emotions. Maybe like my first holiday without my parents. Maybe something like that, I think. And yeah, 19. I thought I was 18 for some reason. But looking back, I focused on passing my driving test at 18 and then my holiday come after. So yeah, my God, when I look back at those pictures as well, when I have my hair done and when I went back balayage, my hairdresser said to me, would you ever go back fully blonde? I said to her, I feel like I'm outgrown my blonde stage. Like, that's all right having it on the ends. But when I take this down and say I put it up, I think, could you be that all over again? And I just can't see it. I loved my blonde years. Okay, I absolutely loved my blonde years. But I feel like I've grown up a bit now, and I'd rather have my fun years with like my experimental hair colours. Which, there's going to be another one this autumn, okay? It's going to be slightly later. Normally, you know me, in the past 2 years, because of lockdown and everything like that, and obviously because that was when I started YouTube during lockdown, my hair transitions have always been beginning of September to compensate for not having a holiday. Now, I'm having my hair topped up in August, just like a little refresh before the holiday. And then I think my main hair transformation is going to happen towards the end of October once I'm back from holiday. So it will definitely be like that for winter. It will just be maybe the autumnal content. I might still be like this. Well, actually, I will still be like this. That doesn't mean that I'm still not going to have the most autumnal content ever, okay? I have already started planning it, my lovelies. Do not worry about that, okay? Do not worry, your little pop sockets, about that, because I am so blooming excited for autumn and winter and Christmas and Halloween. And, oh, I am potentially maybe going to be upping the uploads maybe in August, because as you all know, in September when it comes to autumn, we go up to 5 uploads a week. That's just breaking you in, all right, because you know what happens come the end of November. From Black Friday week, we will have an upload every single day until the end of the first Sunday in the new year. We have back-to-back uploads. You have Vlogmas. You have everything. So I think I'm going to up it in maybe August. I might bring it forward a month this year if I've got enough content. If I've got enough ideas, it may be instead of having your 5 uploads in September, you might have them in August. Which, oh my God, is not far away. Oh Lord, shoot. Next month is July and then it's August. Right, I need to start planning content. I need to have a look. If there's anything that you want to see me do, let me know down in the descriptions box below, my lovelies. But yeah, autumnal content is coming. Not just yet, but it will still be here as always. Of course, you're going to have the yearly pumpkin picking vlog, all right? It is not going to be an all things Shannon autumnal content without me and Mum making a pig's ear of ourselves in a pumpkin farm, having the time of our life, and then living off of pumpkins for like 2 months. I think we might do that maybe middle of September this year, because I think the pumpkin patches in our area open from the beginning of September, because obviously I go away beginning of October, and I don't then want to have the pumpkin picking at the end of October because I think it will clash too much with our Halloween content. And obviously we need to have pumpkins throughout the months of like September and October, because come November and December it's all about the stews. Okay, it's all about the stews and the gravy, thick gravy. So yes, there is a lot coming, but as I say, don't worry, the hair is a little bit delayed this year because I am having my travels. All right, and I think I gave you a sneak peek in the other one. I may or may not have already booked some travels for next year. Mama G is having a meltdown now. Let's just say she's having an absolute meltdown. She don't know what's happening. She's like, you're never going to be at home. I'm like, what is... Right, with everything going on in the world, with all these new things that are happening across the world, that I'm just... It absolutely disgusts and baffles me. I'm not even going to go into it, but it's disgusting what is happening right now in the world in some areas. Everything's going up. So to be honest, I'm not on the rush to move out because everything's going up. You don't get any interest in the bank. I work blooming hard for my money. I want to go and enjoy it now. This is my time, okay? These next few years, oh, I'm just excited. I'm very excited, my lovelies. But yeah, look at this. I am digressing so much. And that just hurt. I slapped my leg. Ow. I'm digressing so much. But as I say, if you did enjoy the video, you know what to do, guys. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment. What was your favourite part of my first little trip abroad on my own without the parents? Was it my absolute suntan disaster where I was burning everywhere? The fact that my eyes look like something from Finding Nemo, my disco ball dress, the Malia story? Let me know down below. And also, if you've been to Crete, any places that you would recommend, because I do actually want to try and travel Europe a little bit more next year. So yeah, any recommendations? I probably wouldn't say I want to go back to Malia. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, literally. Don't really want to go back there, but any islands or little areas, I absolutely love Greek islands. There's so blooming many. They're all fantastic, and I just want to explore them all right? But I've been rabbiting for way too long. We have digressed way too long. Look, we're talking about autumnal content. Ow! I need to really stop slapping my legs. We've been talking about autumnal content and hair transformations. You just want to get on with your day, didn't you? We do, I believe, have a bonus upload tomorrow. So if you're watching this on upload day, keep tuned Friday at 6 because there's a little bonus little vlog for you, all right? And then again, Saturday and Sunday, we're back to normal with our content, okay? But take care. Stay safe as always, my lovelies, and I shall see you tomorrow for an extra upload, all right? Bye, guys.